Hi guys, welcome back to another TBR jar video. We are picking February's TBR, so I will be pulling random prompts from the jar and then picking a book that correlates with that prompt. As of today, when I'm filming this, it is currently January 27th. I have read 4 out of the 6 books I picked for January's TBR, but I'm in the middle of the 5th one. I don't think I'll be getting to that 6th one, sadly, but that's okay. Do I have any books that are on my radar for this month? I would love to pick some romance books since February is Valentine's Day. I would love to have some romance books in there, kind of get in the mood for Valentine's. There aren't any new releases coming out that I'm like, yes, for sure I want to read. So let's just hope for some romance books, I guess. I'm gonna pick 6 books again because that tends to be a good amount for me. Sometimes I can get to all 6, sometimes I don't, just depends because I'm a mood reader, but I think I'll stick with 6. First prompt, a book under 300 pages. That is actually fantastic because then hopefully I'll get to it and finish it. Let's see what I have. Probably will have to be a romance book because most fantasy will be longer than 300 pages. One romance book that I really want to read is, I want to start the Magnolia Parks series, so let's see how many pages this one is. 430, so that's too long. I do have the 7-year slip that I've heard. Sorry if the lighting is changing. The sun is going in and out of behind clouds and I'm using natural light to film this video, so sorry. But let's see how many pages the 7-year slip is. Nope, it is over 300 pages. This might be harder than I think. The Last Thing He Told Me. It is 303 pages, so I'm gonna hold on to this one as an option in case I literally don't have anything under 300 pages. We're gonna hold on to this one. Let's check Practice Makes Perfect. Nope, this one is also over 300. Okay, this is surprisingly way harder than I thought it was going to be. I found one! The Love Wager by Lynn Painter is 289 pages. So this one is under 300. So far this is the only option that we have. So since I found one under 300, I'm going to put The Last Thing He Told Me back. I am going to be picking The Love Wager by Lynn Painter. Okay, that one was surprisingly really hard. I was not expecting that to be so difficult, but it was. Prompt number 2. A book by a fave author. I love this one, but do I have any books by a fave author on my TBR? Is the question, because I know I have books that are new releases coming out by favorite authors. I could do a Kristen Hanna book. I've only read 2 books from her, but I have really enjoyed both of the books that I've read from her. So that could be an option. But also, oh, you know what I could pick? There are 2 Taylor Jenkins Reid books that I still need to read. So I'm going to pick one of those ones, but I am definitely going to be listening to them because I don't physically own the copies of those ones yet. So let me look to see if either one of them are available on my library app and pick based off of that. Okay, so After I Do is available and Forever Interrupted is not. So I will be doing After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid for that one. This one, I'm not exactly sure what it's about. When Lauren and Ryan's marriage reaches the breaking point, they come up with an unconventional plan. They decide to take a year off in the hopes of finding a way to fall in love Again, 1 year apart and only one rule. They cannot contact each other. Aside from that, anything goes. Interesting. Okay, so on to prompt number 3. I want this one. Go, get in there. Get in there. They're all falling. Okay, grabbed it. Prompt number 3 is a book by an author you've never read. So this is a good prompt. I've never read a book by Lynn Painter, so I could have picked that one, but this would be a good chance to pick another romance book if I wanted to, but I also could pick some fantasy books that I have on here for sure. This lighting is really frustrating me because I can just tell it keeps getting darker and brighter. I am so sorry if it ruins this video. Anyway, I have been really wanting to read Fable by R.F. Kuang. Never read a book by her. And this is on my 25 and 2025, so that could be a good one, but it's also a big book. I don't know if I want to commit to this big of a book in February, as it is a shorter month. So I'll keep this one in mind, but I also have The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni, which again, I have never read a book by this author. Obviously, all of these ones are going to be books that I've never read. Or I could do Heartless Hunter, which again is on my 25 and 2025. And this one sounds so fun because it's about a witch and a witch hunter. Enemies to lovers doesn't get more high stakes than a witch and a witch hunter falling in love. This one does sound really interesting, and I'm pretty sure the second one comes out in February, so could be a good chance for me to read this one so that I can pick up the next one sometime soon. I could do The X-Files by Jessica Joyce. I've heard really great things about this one, and it's another romance book, so that could be a good option. I'm not 100% sure what this one is. I know it's about like 2 people that used to date but are now exes, and their best friend in this little trio is getting married, so they are both a part of the bridal party and have to interact and do things for the bride. This could be a good one for around Valentine's Day. I'm in the mood for some romances for Valentine's Day, so oh, I don't know which one I want to do. But I literally already have 2 romances on my list because I have The Love Wager and After I Do. So I'm going to do Heartless Hunter. I'm going to pick Heartless Hunter. Do I need to be starting another series? No. I'm literally already in the middle of like 20 series. But that is what we will be doing. Okay. Prompt number 5. Right? No, prompt number 4. Yep, prompt number 4 is a book over 600 pages. No, I am saving that one for a longer month. I don't care. It's my video. I can change if I want to. February is only 28 days. So I don't want to add a book over 600 pages into that. So I'm going to set this one aside, save it for a different month. You can say I'm cheating if you want, but I don't really care. It's my video. I make the rules. So different prompt. A book with a black cover. Do I have a book with a black cover? Because I already read Onyx Storm, which is black. Oh, I could do Sky Shade. That is a black cover. So is Caraval, but again, starting another series, I don't really want to do that. This would be finishing a series, which could be good. A Study in Drowning is kind of black, but not really. Again, I could do Fable. Not ready to tackle that one. I'm not ready to tackle that one yet, though. I think Sky Shade is going to be my best option, so I'm going to do this one. So far, we've got 2 romances and 2 fantasies, so that's pretty good, I think. Prompt number 5 is a book with a 2-word title. Interesting. Let's see here. Ooh, I have a lot that I could do. I could do Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. I read Wild Love last month and really enjoyed it, so I could do Wild Eyes. That is an option. I also have Homefront by Kristen Hanna. I don't think I'm ready for another emotional roller coaster. I don't think I'm ready for another emotional roller coaster from Kristen Hanna because I just read The Women last month, so I'm going to hold off on that one. Again, Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna. Don't want an emotional roller coaster. Magnolia Parks. I could do this. Would be starting a new series, but I really do want to start this month, like this year. So that could be an option, as well as I have Anxious People by Frederick Bachman, which could be a good one also. I'm scared that this one also could be an emotional roller coaster. I don't know. I also have Normal People by Sally Rooney and again The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. This would be a good fast-paced one, but I'm kind of leaning more towards one of these. Oh my goodness. Part of me feels like I should do Wild Eyes since I read the first one last month and it would be wrapping that up, but I know there's probably going to be more coming out. I know there's at least one more coming out in this series, so I don't necessarily need to read this one right now. I'm literally in the middle of so many series, but I think I want to start Magnolia Parks. Or do I just do Anxious People so it's a one-off? I also don't have any literary fiction on my list. I only have romance and fantasy, so this could be a good added to it. I think I just made up my mind. As much as I would love to read either one of these, I already have 2 romances, and I think I need to add a little bit more variety to the list, so I'm going to do Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. That is on my 25 and 2025, so that could be good to mark that one off. Okay, last prompt of the video. Okay, last prompt. A book with a white cover. Oh, I only have one option, and I know I'm not going to want to read it. The only option that I have, which I should just probably unhaul this because it does not sound very interesting to me anymore. It's called Keep Me Posted. The reason it doesn't sound very interesting to me is because I feel like it's dated. It's about 2 sisters. It says, what would happen if the intimate secrets you shared with your sister suddenly went viral? But it goes viral through Facebook, which Facebook is not as important of a social media outlet nowadays, and I just feel like this is going to be dated and it just doesn't sound that interesting to me. But it's really the only option besides Atomic Habits, which I am not reading right now. Those are the only options. So I think I'm going to actually unhaul this book and pick a different prompt because that just It's not happening. It's not happening. So we'll pick a different one, shall we? A new release. There's no new releases coming out that I want to read right now. So I already read Onyx Storm. I can't do that prompt, so we'll set it off to the side. Wow, this 6th one is being a little difficult for us, isn't it? A book with an orange cover. I can work with that. Could have done Anxious People for that one. My first thought is Wild Eyes, because it's orange. I know we literally just talked about this one, but that is an option. I also could do The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. So it's between these two books here, The 7-Year Slip and Wild Eyes. To me, Wild Eyes is giving more orange. The 7-Year Slip is kind of like a yellowish orange. So I think I'm going to go with Wild Eyes. So there we have it. All 6 books for February picked. I feel like I got a good amount, like a good pick this month. Here are our books, the physical copies that I have, and then there's one that I don't have a physical copy of, but it still counts. So let's go through and I'll tell you what they are. Our first prompt was a book under 300 pages, and we are doing The Love Wager by Lynn Painter. And then it was a book by a fave author, and that we are doing After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'll put a picture up of it. I do not have a physical copy of it, so pretend I'm putting it up there. The next is a book by an author you've never read, and I am picking Heartless Hunter by Kristen Cicerelli. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I'm so sorry. The next prompt was a book with a black cover, and I picked Sky Shade. The next was a book with a 2-word title, and I picked Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. And then the last one was a book with an orange cover, and I picked Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. I'm excited for our TBR this month. I think it is going to be really good, and I definitely have some romances on there, which is great because I want to read some romances for Valentine's Day. So I am pretty happy with that TBR. Come back at the end of the month to see if I finished all of these books or which ones I read and my ratings and reviews of them. And I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!